A 4-foot 10-inch kid with a rare bone disorder was told he would never make it in Hollywood. People said he was too small. People said he did not look like a star, but he did not accept their limits. Stay here, because his life becomes more shocking with every step. That same kid now owns 2 historic mansions in Los Angeles. He drives a Mercedes G-Wagon. He earned an $80 million fortune by working with Calm Focus for 50 years. And his name is Danny DeVito. This is where curiosity begins to rise. He once made $43 million from one movie about twins. He produced Pulp Fiction and Aaron Brockovich, and many people never knew he helped create them. He stayed with the same woman for over 50 years, even after 2 separations. His life is full of surprises that few ever see. Danny never fit the Hollywood mold. He was told he was too short. He was told he was too different. But he turned every no into a bigger yes. And he built a career that outlasted almost everyone who doubted him. You will want to see how he did it. This is not just a mansion tour. This is the story of a man who built his world quietly, home by home, roll by roll, year by year, and today, you are stepping inside all of it. Danny DeVito was born with multiple epiphyseal dysplasia, a rare disorder that stops bones from growing normally. It kept him at 4 feet 10 inches for his entire life. In a place like Hollywood, where looks decide everything, this could have ended his dream. But Danny did not let it end anything. Casting directors looked at him and saw limits. Danny looked at himself and saw a chance. He knew he would never be the tall leading man, so he chose to be something better. He chose to be unforgettable. The disorder affects bone growth at the joints. It does not touch your mind. It does not touch your talent. Danny turned what others called a flaw into his trademark. This is where his path becomes different from most people. We all have something that makes us different. Most people hide it. Danny walked into every room and owned it with confidence. That confidence changed his entire future. Hollywood said he was too short to be a star. He became one of the most recognized faces on the planet. His height never stopped him. It made him iconic. But before the fame and the mansions, there was a small town in New Jersey, a close Italian family, and a young kid who had no idea that greatness was waiting for him. This is where his real story begins. Danny DeVito was born on November 17, 1944, in Neptune Township, New Jersey. He grew up in Asbury Park with 2 older sisters. His family was working class and Italian-American. There was no money or fame, only love and laughter. His parents worked hard to keep food on the table. Danny learned that humor could brighten any room. In that small house, he found his voice. This is where his character began to grow. He was the youngest of 3 children and the only boy. His family went to church every Sunday. Italian traditions filled their home. Strong women shaped his kindness and humility. Many of us come from homes where family means everything. Danny's childhood was the same. Simple days, simple people. But something in him already felt extra. Even as a kid, he made people laugh. At school plays, at family dinners, anywhere he could get attention. That gift would take him far beyond New Jersey. But how did a kid from Asbury Park end up in acting school? It started with his sister's beauty salon, and one choice that changed his life forever. After he finished high school in 1962, Danny worked at his sister's beauty salon. He swept floors. He washed hair. He talked with customers all day. He even thought cosmetology might be his future. Danny did not have big dreams yet. He was just a kid trying to find his path. But something inside him felt restless. Something wanted more. While looking for cosmetology programs, he found the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. He auditioned with a simple monologue. The judges saw something special in him. They accepted him on the spot. Sometimes big changes start with small steps. Danny walked into that audition with no plan. He walked out with his future waiting for him. His whole life shifted in one day. That one choice changed everything. No beauty salon career. No quiet life in New Jersey. Only a road that led straight to Hollywood. Danny graduated from the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in 1966. He did not get movie roles right away. He spent years performing in small off-Broadway theaters. These early years shaped him in silence. These were his invisible years. No cameras, no applause. Only hard work on stages that most people never remembered. Each role taught him something he would use later. He performed at the Colonnades Theater Lab at the Eugene O'Neill Theater Center. He worked with the Westbeth Playwrights Feminist Collective. These were tiny stages. Most actors quit on these stages. Danny kept going. Success is not built in one big moment. It is built in late nights that no one sees. Danny lived many of those nights. Each one pushed him forward. Then in 1971, he was cast in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It was a small role in a small play, but 4 years later, that play became a major movie. And Danny got the call. What happened when he joined one of the greatest films ever made? How did that movie open every door in Hollywood? The answer won 5 Oscars. In 1975, Danny appeared in the film One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He played Martini, a patient in a mental hospital. The movie became a huge cultural moment. It changed everything for him. Imagine being part of a film that wins Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Screenplay. Danny stood in the middle of history. He saw greatness up close. He learned he belonged in Hollywood. The film is one of only 3 movies to win all 5 major Academy Awards. It launched new careers, and it proved Danny had real talent. His face was now known everywhere. We all wait for one break. For Danny, it was this film, one role, one chance, and it changed cinema forever. But Danny wanted more than movie roles. He wanted a part that America would love. He wanted his place on television. That chance came 3 years later. What TV show turned Danny into a household name? And what awards proved he was more than a character actor? The answer sits in a New York City cab company. In 1978, Danny landed the role of Louis De Palma in the sitcom Taxi. Louis was short, loud, selfish, and mean. People could not stop watching him. They loved every moment he was on screen. Louis was a terrible person. But Danny played him with so much heart that people loved him anyway. That is the mark of real talent. Only a great actor can make a villain this likable. Taxi ran from 1978 to 1983. It became one of the most loved sitcoms of the time. Danny won an Emmy in 1981 for supporting actor. He also won a Golden Globe that same year. Think of a character you hated but could not stop watching. That was Louis De Palma. Danny made a villain into a fan favorite. His skills turned anger into laughter. Taxi made Danny famous, but he did not want to stay in one box. He wanted movies. He wanted control. He wanted to create his own stories. What happened when Danny stepped behind the camera? What films did he direct and produce that changed Hollywood? After Taxi, Danny's film career grew fast. He starred in Romancing the Stone, Twins, and Batman Returns. But his real power came from the work no one saw. Danny wanted to create his own stories, so in 1991, he co-founded Jersey Films. The company produced Pulp Fiction, Get Shorty, Aaron Brockovich, and Garden State. These films shaped the 1990s. Danny also became a director. He made Throw Mama from the Train, The War of the Roses, and Matilda. His profit share from Twins earned him $43 million. Most actors stay in front of the camera. Danny built a production empire. And at home, he raised 3 kids in a quiet Beverly Hills mansion. What luxury waited inside that estate? Let's step through the gates. In 1994, Danny and his wife Rhea Perlman bought a 14,579 square foot estate in Beverly Hills. It sat on a quiet cul-de-sac near the Los Angeles Country Club. For more than 20 years, this house was their home. It was where their family grew. This was not a flashy celebrity palace. It was a warm family retreat. It was private, safe, and filled with memories. Danny raised his 3 kids here, far from cameras. The mansion had 12 bedrooms and 18 bathrooms. It had a home theater with a bar. It had a game room, a wine cellar, and a cigar room. A resort-style pool sat outside under the sun. The master suite had 2 bathrooms, a steam room, a fireplace, and a private terrace. Imagine coming home after a long film shoot to a place like this. No noise, no pressure. Only family and peace. That is what Danny built. In 2015, he sold the estate for $24 million. But he did not leave Los Angeles. He moved to another mansion filled with nearly a century of history. What historic estate did Danny choose next? And why did he pick a home built in 1924 over a modern mansion? Danny's next home sat below the Griffith Observatory in Los Feliz. Built in 1924, the Spanish-style mansion had more than 10,400 square feet. It held 10 bedrooms, 11 bathrooms, and nearly a century of character. Danny could have chosen a modern glass house. Instead, he chose history and soul. This home told stories before you even opened the door. It had Spanish tile floors, hand-painted ceilings, and stained glass windows. There was a library with a fireplace, a wine cellar, a bar, and a sauna. Each room felt warm and alive. Some people want new. Danny wanted character. He found peace in rooms built 100 years ago. This was not just a house. It was a piece of Los Angeles history. A mansion like this needed the right car in the driveway. So what did Danny DeVito drive? Danny DeVito does not collect Ferraris or Lamborghinis. His garage holds 3 cars that are practical and full of character. They fit him perfectly. These are not show-off cars. They are cars a man who loves comfort and quiet style would choose. Solid and real. He owns a Cadillac Escalade with a 420 horsepower V8 and soft leather seats. He keeps a Lincoln Town car with smooth power and polished wood trim. He drives a Mercedes G-Class with 416 horsepower and all-wheel drive. Some stars buy cars to be seen. Danny buys cars for comfort. He chooses quality over flash. The town car makes a store trip feel special. The G-Class climbs hills with no effort. The Escalade moves like a calm yacht. But where did the money for all of this come from? How did Danny build an $80 million fortune over 5 decades? The breakdown may surprise you. Danny DeVito has an $80 million net worth. He earned it through acting, directing, producing, and smart deals. This was 50 years of work, not fast fame. Most actors fade after a few hits. Danny kept working. He kept creating. His fortune grew because he never stopped. Acting brought $40 to $50 million. He earned $5 million from Matilda. He made $43 million from Twins. Directing and producing added $20 to $30 million. Brand deals added $2 to $5 million. He still earns money from Taxi reruns and Matilda streaming. Even old work pays him today. That is the power of residuals. Most people see him as only a funny actor, but he helped create billion-dollar films. His wealth came from strategy, but money was never the point. What mattered most was his family. Danny met Rhea Perlman on January 17, 1971. She came to see a friend in a play he was in. 2 weeks later, they moved in together. They chose each other fast. They were young actors with no money and no fame. They had no clear future, but they trusted their bond. They bet everything on love. They married in 1982 after 11 years together. They had 3 children named Lucy, Grace, and Jacob. They worked together on Taxi and Matilda. Their home and careers were linked. Not every Hollywood marriage lasts. They separated in 2012, reconciled in 2013, and separated again in 2017. But they never divorced. They stayed connected. In 2019, Rhea said they became better friends after separating. Their story did not break. It changed shape. So what does this tell us about Danny DeVito? The mansions, the cars, the fortune. The answer is simpler and more powerful than you think. Danny DeVito did not build his life to impress Hollywood. He built it to live well and love deeply. The mansions were beautiful, but the people inside them mattered most. Hollywood is full of stars who fade fast. Danny never chased attention. He let his talent and hard work guide him. Real success is not about showing off. It is about building something that lasts. Danny built a career, a family, and a fortune without losing himself. He went from a 4-foot 10-inch kid with a bone disorder to an $80 million icon. We began with a surprising fact. Now you know the truth behind it. Danny DeVito is more than a Hollywood legend. He is a father, a husband, and a quiet builder of real things. His legacy lives in the life he made off screen. You just explored his mansions, his cars, his fortune, and his long love story. He proved that real success is built quietly. If this story moved you, like and subscribe. What shocked you most? Share it in the comments.